You know, ChatGPT, OpenAI right now is incurring a $5 billion loss. Okay. Do you think it is sustainable? Because although everybody is saying that the cost of LLMs will go down, the losses are not coming down at all. How are the LLM costs going down when the losses are not coming down?
So what is I explained at the start of the podcast that 70% is going to actually the infra, the GPUs and the infra data centers and all this, the cost of energy and everything is going there. So that is the reason if you look at OpenAI is going and having this all these data center deals that is happening around the world. They're also buying stake into AMD, right? 10% or whatever percent they bought into AMD. So unless you reduce the cost of the 70%, your overall cost can only then they have only have then 20% of cost is the data cost. They have contracts with New York Times, they have contract with Reddit. You hear all these contracts, which is an acquisition of data because they have to continue to train the models on that, right? So the 70% cost will actually, when people say LLM cost will come down, it is the cost of chips and that entire infrastructure will get collapsed. So that's the cost we're talking about. Even if the model training cost remains at 20%. So therefore, they have to become a full stack. That's the reason I gave example of Google in the middle of the podcast that you have to control the entire stack eventually to be able to bring down the cost of eventual offering to the customer. So that's how, therefore, that becomes your defensibility now, right? So LLM can continue to improve. I can continue to switch. I can also give the power to the user to choose which LLM they want to use. Then the power is in the, so Emergent has done that, for example. If you go to Emergent today, you can say you want to use Claude Code, which is the default option, but I can also use Gemini and all. I can also use Anthropic and I can also use any open source LLM, right? Suddenly, therefore, user now decides how much money I want to spend for the what quality output I want. Think about that also, right? Because now, today, we are assuming the system should decide. Why should system decide? As a user, I will see the value, okay, I may not need the best draft. You know, I am letting letter to my wife. Yes, I need to be the best. I don't have to spend, $1,000 for that. Maybe I spend $100 and that itself can make her happy, right? And I can use open source for that. That's another way to think about it, where you can also pass on that power to the user's hand to decide which LLM is giving you the best output. But then you become that orchestration layer in between, and therefore there is a defensibility you have built, right?
Guys, before we move ahead, let me quickly explain what is an orchestration layer so that even the non-techies can understand this in the simplest possible way. You see, today, AI models are incredibly smart, but the problem is they're also chaotic. They sometimes skip steps, they get confused, and they're sometimes also unreliable. So, the orchestration layer fixes this problem. It forces the AI to follow a strict system. So, it locks the sequence of tasks, it secures the memory, and manages failure by catching errors and forcing a retry. Think of it like answering a two-part question. What is the population of the capital of India? If this question is asked to AI, to answer this, you need a step by step order to be followed. So, in this case, the orchestration layer forces the AI to do certain steps. In step number one, it will identify the capital of India, which is New Delhi. Secondly, it will carry that specific city name to the next step. In the third step, it will search for the population of New Delhi. And this way, the orchestration layer ensures that the right order is followed every single time and you receive the desired result. So the strength of your company is directly proportional to the strength of your orchestration layer
And the user love.
and the user love.
Yeah.
Got it. So how to build defensibility? Step number one, user love. Step number two, orchestration layer.
Yeah, that's one of the ways to do it. Okay. Second way to do is that you are able to generate data when your usage goes up. So it's a loop now. So let's say users start using you. You build orchestration layer. You have a lot of users who are using you for multiple drafts. Let's stay with this example, right? A draft for finance, for my school letter, for my homework, for my office letter, to writing to my boss, writing to my girlfriend. So I'm using this now, right? Now I have built data on this person. I have built data on this all use cases. So that becomes that's where the reinforced learning will start coming in, where system is learning from that more and more. So therefore you get more efficient. Second defensibility get built.
Proprietary data.
Yeah. So user data becomes your proprietary data. Same example I gave for Emergent now. Emergent has now 3.2 million apps on their platform. So that data is, they have a telemetry. They're capturing all this data. So when you're designing the product, you make sure that you start capturing all the usage data as well. Many people don't even actually ignore that. So putting the telemetry of where the usage is, how many clicks, how many times reading, how many drop-offs. So you have to put telemetry into it so that the data becomes gold mine for you.
Got it. So proprietary data again does two things. A, it helps you make your product better. B, it also increases customer stickiness because now in Zomato, because there's already so much data and I know which restaurant I ordered from and I just have to press the reorder button, I wouldn't install another app. So proprietary data means As the customer keeps on using your product, you should be able to collect proprietary data that is not available outside, so that you can do two things. A, improve the product faster than your competition, and B, use the same data to give a better experience to your customers.
Yeah, there's one way to do it. Second way to get data is you sign contracts with the people who have the data. Like you go to Reddit. I come to Think School. I say, Ganesh, I'll pay you $4 million a year. All the data that you generate through your views is mine to look at.
Deal, Manav.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
Like that, right? So you can also do data contracts, basically, which can then give you access to proprietary data. That's the two way to look at. There's a pulling defensibility in that.
Got it. So if somebody wants to give us $4 million, guys, link in the description. Okay. Go on.
Then number three is your network effects, which comes into play, which means Hugging Face is an example of that, right? Where you upload your libraries and people start using it, the leaderboard, and based on that, the network effects are beginning to come.
Can you explain what is that Hugging Face you mentioned?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you explain?
They are the ones where you actually list all their models, like small models. So developers go and build their model, and you can download to use it. It's an open source. So it goes by the word of mouth now, right? I use it, I say, Ganesh, I use that library, you can go and check which is more useful for me, and that's how the business is built. It's a very valuable business as we speak today. So network effects will start coming into play, and that network effect becomes a defensibility for you, because now you have so many developers. Same as case of Compose in our case, right? It is an early example where a lot of developer love is there, and they have a lot of data that is getting generated, and developers then refer to others, so network effect starts coming into play. But Hugging Face is a direct example. Compose is kind of combination of more about on the data side, actually. It's not as much on the network side. That's your third way of building defensibility. And the fourth defensibility, which trumps a lot of things, is the distribution.
Got it.
Right? Google has it through Chrome, right? You put one feature and billions of people have it, right? That takes time to build. And you have seen that in your experience. Distribution it takes time to build. So once you have distribution, it itself is a moat.
Perfect. So orchestration layer, proprietary data, network effect, and distribution. If this clip gave you value, please subscribe to this channel so that we can keep bringing you game-changing business insights.